As the data science consultant for the Northwind Traders Company, I've really enjoyed piecing together the story of this company through the data and through the goals meetings that we've had. And a really amazing thing happened to me when I was leaving our last goals meeting. I was walking across the parking lot and I tripped over this lamp. And out of the lamp came this puff of blue smoke and appeared a genie. The genie claimed that he was a data genie and had a team of other data genies working with him, and that these genies would grant me 5 wishes in this project. And so through the goals meetings that we've had and the areas of the company that I know you're looking to improve upon, I decided on these 5 questions. 1 being to increase the sales quantity. 2, to motivate the sales team. 3, to develop the European market, as I know that that's a big goal on the top of the priority list when it comes to expansion. 4, to better distribute the sales team workload. And finally, to improve the supply chain. Now, these data genies did say that I had to ask the right questions in order to have these wishes granted. So I started with the question of, do applying discounts impact the quantity of sales? In this case, you can see this visualization shows that when there's no discount, there's an average of about 22 units in the quantity of the sale. When there is a discount, that number goes up to just above 27. This analysis did show that there is a significance in that a discount does increase the amount of quantity in the order. That might seem like a simple analysis given this bar graph, but a deeper question is, do different discount levels impact quantity? So 5%, 10%, 15, 20, and 25% discounts, how likely are they to increase quantity individually? This analysis showed that the impact of discounts on quantity, they do vary by discount level, and that actually a 5% discount is the most impactful on quantity. This visualization will show you that the green, purple, and blue lines at the top are percentages of 15, 25, and 5 respectively. And it shows that, yes, a 15% discount is the discount that is increasing the quantity the most. However, a statistical analysis shows that the 5%, the blue line, is really the discount level that is most impactful. So what does that mean as far as business decisions go? Well, really just finding ways to get those 5% and 15% discounts out to the customers could be very advantageous the more often that you do it. Things like ad campaigns, email blasts, customer reward programs could be successful in that area. Next, I wanted to know the range of employee sales and if there are any employees who are averaging higher sales prices per sale than the average overall. In this case, you can see that you do have 3 employees who are reaching above a 700 mark on average. It would be interesting to see what these 3 individuals are selling specifically. Are they focusing mostly on products that have a high sales price, a high unit price to start with, or are they just making more sales overall? This showed that amongst your employees, there really are no significant differences between employee average sales prices, showing that there really aren't certain employees who are way ahead of everyone else when it comes to sales prices. So what that really could mean to motivate the sales team is it could be to choose that average number, which is around $628 per sale, as a marker for success and really rewarding employees who consistently reach above that average. It could be through awards as higher commissions, possibly extra paid time off, or special events to reward the employees who are reaching above that average on their orders. Now, here comes the European market question. I know that these are high on the priority list, and I wanted to sort of look at the regions of Europe individually to see what it means for future growth. First, you can see the graph on the left shows that Western Europe is your most productive region in Europe by a long shot. Eastern Europe is the opposite. It has not really shown to be very productive at all. However, when you look at the average sales price, the graph on the right, there really is no significant difference in the sales price per order when you break it down into regions. So the average sales price in Northern Europe is pretty much the same average sales price in Western Europe. As far as significance goes, there's no real significant difference there. So what that tells you is that if you are just to increase the number of sales that you have in Eastern Europe, this bar graph will change significantly. You can see that total sales will end up increasing once you focus more concentration in Eastern Europe. And that's a really big recommendation for your expansion, to really focus ad campaigns in Eastern, Northern, and Southern European regions, but to also focus on further development in the Western region of Europe, as it has proven to be so productive. Now, thinking more about this idea of territories, I wanted to see if there was a difference in employee sales given the amount of territories that they oversee. The question here is, do employees with a higher number of sales regions sell higher quantities? And I broke this down into two categories. A category who has low territories of coverage, meaning 6 territories or less. Those are represented by the blue bars. The green bars represent employees who have higher than 6 territories to oversee. And it is significant in this case that, yes, those employees who are overseeing more than 6 territories, a high territory amount, they are selling more. They have a higher sales quantity. That is significant. And so what that really could tell you for the future is, if you expand and you have a new region, it could be that these employees in blue are the ones who are given those responsibilities, given those regions, as it will hopefully balance out the workload amongst your sales employees. The recommendation here could be that you have a young and promising employee who doesn't have much responsibility when it comes to territories and could take on that responsibility, and in doing so increase their quantity. And finally, this question of improving the supply chain is really 2 parts. First, it was interesting to look at the number of items that go on back order as opposed to those that don't go on back order, and then averaging the number of items that are on back order per category. So you would imagine that seafood makes sense given it's on back order. It has more items on back order than the other products. That could be because of the shorter shelf life. The same goes for dairy. It's harder to keep that in stock when it's not being ordered, and when there is an order, it's harder to process. It's harder to predict the numbers. In this case, back ordering is just essentially when an order comes through and the quantity of that order is greater than the units that are in stock at that current period of time. And so the interesting one here was condiments. The fact that there are there's a higher number of condiment items on back order than average. That could take some further investigation. You would not consider condiments to have a shelf life, but it really would depend on the product. So in this case, back ordering, it does vary by product, which makes sense. Again, you could really piece together that grains are easily stored and seafood is not. But there really is no one category that is back ordered more than average. So there's no one category that has more items on back order than the average. And taking that question and the results of this a little bit further, I wanted to see how that affects the customers. So are back ordered items taking longer to get to the customer than non-back ordered items? And the answer here is no. There really is no significant difference on the impact of back ordering on the processing time of the order. So something is being done successfully and efficiently in that when there is an order that comes through and the quantity is higher than what you have in stock, it really is not affecting the customer. You have a way of getting what you need from the supplier and getting it to the customer in a very efficient period of time. But the recommendation here is to dig a little bit deeper into that. It is interesting, the items that go on back order by category, but this could be broken down into further investigating how often items are back ordered and how frequently that occurs per item. Now, with all big projects, there's always future work. The genies have assured me that they would like to continue this work and that they can continue to do some really great things with data science, but one of which being questions focusing heavily on supply chain. Digging further into those back-ordered and non-back-ordered items, especially as you expand out into Europe, ways in which you can be sure that your supply is getting to the customer in an efficient way. 2, I think some really great things could be done with predictive modeling for new markets. Ways in which you can really zone in on the areas inside the regions that will be most productive. And finally, there's always a need to continue to motivate your sales teams, find the employees who are really ahead of the curve and doing a great job, and find the employees who might need a push in the right direction. And please do, as you dig through this work and you dig through the index of this presentation, please do reach out if you have any questions on this work. Thank you very much.